Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Oh my god, we forgot Meg.
Hi everybody. Wow, I cannot believe that I am sitting here on my couch in my new home to let you guys know about the fact that we are already embarking on the 9th year of Up From the Underground, which means I have been doing this for going on 9 years. My YouTube anniversary actually passed at the beginning of January while I was on hiatus, and I still cannot get over the fact that I am now starting a brand new year, a brand new bunch of things to review for you, and a whole bunch of amazing content to feature, and hopefully it will be another wonderful year, even though last year was quite a challenge. But guys, welcome to the season premiere of Up From the Underground, and just in case you are new to my channel, welcome, it is a pleasure to have you. And to all of you coming back, thank you so much for sticking with me. Just in case you don't know what the season premiere of Up From the Underground is about, it's a really good one because we are going to talk about some of the films that I really want to see in theaters this year. Now, I also made a lot of announcements last year that for the past couple of years, I have been seeing a month's worth of films in theaters, meaning at least 30 films a year. But because of the fact that I recently moved into my new house with my wife, and we are really focusing on making sure that we are budgeting properly and watching our finances carefully, I had to make a couple of sacrifices this year. So I will not be anticipating 30 films this year. I will kick off the year by giving you guys my 20 most anticipated films of 2019. These are movies that I definitely want to see in theaters, and this will also feature the very first 10 for 12 of the year. And 10 for 12 is a monthly segment that I normally do as a collaboration with fellow YouTubers in the community, but the first one is always me going solo because I want to give you guys, out of the 20 films this year that I am going to want to see in theaters, what are the 10 that really shine above the others, that really are a cut above. The ones that, if I do not see these in theaters, I will be very, very upset. So, I have my list here, and I'm really excited to go into it and tell you guys about these films, and we will see them, we will review them, and at the end of this year, we will go into the best of the year, and we will see which film, television show, and music reigns supreme. So I'm really excited. So let's get started with my 20 most anticipated films of 2019. So the first one is actually one that I've already seen, and it's the new biopic film about Ruth Bader Ginsburg starring Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer, and that, of course, is On the Basis of Sex. Now, yeah, it came out on Christmas Day in a limited release, but in my world, if a movie comes out in wide release in January, then I consider it a film of the current year, not of the past year. So granted, it was made in 2018, but for me, because of the fact that the wide release was in January, this is a January film for me of 2019. Number 2 is one of my 10 anticipated films, and that, of course, is the new M. Night Shyamalan film, Glass. Of course, we all got a big surprise when we saw the ending of Split starring James McAvoy, but now we are officially seeing the world of Unbreakable and Split come together in a trilogy, and right now I haven't seen it, and I know that the reviews are a little bit shaky at the moment, but I still want to see how this trilogy ends for myself. And then we're going to move on to the new Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron film, Alita: Battle Angel. I'm a little on the fence about it because of the fact that it's been pushed back for so long, but it still looks fantastic, and I really want to see how they take this and put it into film. The next film is my second of the 10 anticipated films out of all of these, and that, of course, is the final installment of the DreamWorks phenomenon, How to Train Your Dragon, and that, of course, is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. The trailers look unbelievable, and these films were such a big surprise to me. I had no idea what to anticipate from the very first one way back when, but it was fantastic, and the sequel surpassed its predecessor. So, seeing what the trailers are like and wondering what is going to happen to Hiccup and Toothless and the rest of the Vikings in this film, I am so excited for seeing this film, especially on the big screen, because it looks wonderful. Number 5 is the newest installment of the MCU, and that, of course, is Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson. I was absolutely stunned by the power that was Avengers Infinity War, and now that we're backtracking to see a little bit more of the cosmic universe, especially when it comes to some of the creatures that are being featured in this film, like the Kree and the Skrulls, these are things that myself, as a Marvel comic book reader of the olden days, is really excited to see, and I'm really hoping that it is good. I know that it's revolving around a lot of controversy, but I do have high hopes. The next film is my third most anticipated film of the year, and that is the live-action version of the 1941 Disney classic Dumbo. Now, hear me out. You know that I really have not said great things about what Disney is doing with their live-action adaptations. Didn't care much for Beauty and the Beast. I have no intentions to see Lion King. However, this movie is being directed by Tim Burton, and I am a huge Tim Burton fan. And also, based on the things that I have seen in the trailers, it looks like they're trying to expand a little bit, improve in areas that could have been improved on. And we've seen that before with some of the recent Disney canon classics that have turned into live-action adaptation films, like Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella, which I really did enjoy, Jon Favreau's The Jungle Book, which was fantastic. So I really feel that we're going to get one of those kinds of Disney remakes, and not a movie like Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King or Aladdin. And let me tell you this, Aladdin and The Lion King are not on this list. I have no intentions to see these adaptations. I am very, very sorry. Feel free to put your hate in the box below. The next film is my fourth anticipated film of the year, and it is the new DCEU film Shazam starring Zachary Levi. I cannot wait to see this movie. I am so excited because this is a character that people who are readers of DC Comics from way back when adore, and I feel that he is a character that really doesn't get featured much in the world of comic books these days. I mean, he is one of the most oldest and most beloved DC comic characters next to the big three, which are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and I am expecting this film to be lighthearted and campy to a certain extent, maybe a bit cringeworthy, but that's because that is Shazam, and I think that they're gonna do this film correctly. And the next film, of course, is my fifth most anticipated film of 2019, and it is no surprise, it's Avengers Endgame. The one that is going to close the book on the very first chapter of MCU. I mean, this has been such a roller coaster ride, such a brilliant thing that Marvel and Kevin Feige have done to give us an entire universe of films where everything is connected, and after what happened in Infinity War, to see what will happen to close the first book and open the second book makes me so, so excited. The next film is my sixth most anticipated film, which I did not even think would have been one of my most anticipated films of the year, and it is Detective Pikachu, starring the voice of Ryan Reynolds. Now, I may not be as diehard of a Pokemon fan as many of you out there, because Pokemon unfortunately was after my time, but I do play a lot of Pokemon Go because I do enjoy being entertained while I go out and exercise, but this trailer made me laugh. I still remember when this first came out, I showed the fact that this was happening to my wife, and she didn't care for it. We watched the trailer, and then she turned to me and said, "We are going to see this movie. I don't care. We must see this movie." Yeah, we're going to see this movie because it looks like it's going to be so funny, and I think Ryan Reynolds is never going to let us look at Pokemon the very same way again after Detective Pikachu. And then we've got another one of my more anticipated films. This is the seventh most anticipated film of 2019 for me, and it is the biopic of Elton John, Rocket Man. Now, I have been saying that we need more music biopics because films like Love and Mercy, which was about Brian Wilson, and Straight Outta Compton, which is about NWA, they're great. But then Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and I'm a big Queen fan, knowing that we are now going to get another biopic about another one of the most iconic voices in music, Sir Elton John, with Taron Egerton playing him, no less. What a great thing to see. And I love the fact that Elton John played alongside Taron Egerton in a brief role in the sequel to Kingsman, Knowing that we are now going full circle and seeing Taron Egerton actually play Elton John in an Elton John biopic is just a beautiful thing, and I really think it's going to be beautiful. Let's get some more of these biopics, please. We need more. And then we're moving on to the very final X-Men film that Fox is directing, and that, of course, is X-Men Dark Phoenix. I'm just hoping that they get it right, because it's been pushed back merely because of the Fox-Disney merger, but the cast from X-Men Apocalypse has returned. I really am hoping that it's going to be a good movie. That's all that I ask for. Just let it be entertaining and good. And then we've got Toy Story 4. It is not one of my more anticipated films because I have said this alongside many others. Toy Story 3 ended it, and it ended the franchise beautifully. Why are we getting a fourth? Could there be another great story in there? Absolutely. Are they getting a lot of great people to be a part of this film? Yes, they are. The fact that Tim Allen has said that he cried and couldn't even finish filming the last of his lines at the ending of Toy Story 4 makes me wonder what they're doing. And if a movie like Toy Story 4 can make a guy like Tim Allen cry, then there could be something extremely special here, but we will see. And then we've got my 8th most anticipated film of the year, and it is the brand new Quentin Tarantino film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring a beautiful cast including Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's all about the Helter Skelter murders, Charles Manson. Oh my God. Is there anything that Quentin Tarantino does that I am not interested in? The fact that he's taking on this specific story is such an idea, such an interesting idea. I am so excited to see what this movie is going to be about because I haven't seen a movie of his since The Hateful Eight, and it's been a while since we've seen him, so I'm really hoping that this is a very good movie because it looks like a great story and the cast looks fantastic. The next film is, and I'm really hoping that I'm not going to be suffering from too much MCU burnout after seeing 2 of them already, and that, of course, is Spider-Man Far From Home, starring Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal. I just saw the trailer, and I cannot wait, because Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, they got the costume beautifully, including the fishbowl helmet. I am so curious where this story is going to go, and the most important thing is, especially after seeing Homecoming and that end credit scene, they really should be working on Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. I think that this is a story that Spider-Man fans have been anticipating. They've been trying to lead up to it with past franchises, and it just hasn't worked. But with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios teaming up with Sony, I really feel that we can be in for a wonderful ride, and Tom Holland's going to be sticking around as Spider-Man for a while. And even though I wasn't a fan of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, when Tom Holland's contract is up, if they try to make a movie where he passes the torch on to Miles Morales, that would just be an amazing thing in the MCU to see, and I think I'll finally be able to appreciate all of these other Spider people. And then we've got New Mutants, another Fox X-Men film that has been pushed back and pushed back. I really don't know what to say about this. I just hope that it's good, especially considering the fact that it's got Maisie Williams in it. And then we've got my 9th most anticipated film. Of course, it is one that I know you guys have been hearing me talk about because I love the first one, and of course, it's my favorite book of all time. It is the follow-up to It. It is It Chapter 2, and Bill Skarsgård coming back as Pennywise. Oh, Lord. I am so excited to see the second half of this book finally be given to us in film. I haven't even bought the first chapter on DVD yet because there's been a fabled director's cut somewhere out there, and then they were planning on actually taking the 2 It films and merging them and turning them into how the timeline is in the book, so basically syncing up the 2 films and actually going from past to present, present to past. I hope they do that because of the fact that I still have space saved on my shelf for it, so I think that It Chapter 2 is going to be great. And then we've got a film that I didn't even see coming. We're getting an animated film version of The Addams Family. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the live-action films, but I really would like to see how they do in animation. I think that that would be really, really cool. And then we've got the newest Disney canon classic, and it is Frozen 2. I am not really excited for this film because I wonder why we even need a sequel to Frozen. I don't. Wreck-It Ralph made sense to me, but this, not so much. But I still will see it because it's a Disney canon classic. I have to see all the Disney canon classics because I do Out of the Vault, so why not? And the 10th most anticipated film of 2019 is a film that I have been aching for, especially after seeing the documentary about the character that is being spoken about in this film, and it is called It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and it stars Tom Hanks, and he is playing Mr. Rogers. This is the story of Mr. Rogers in a film, guys, not a documentary, a film. Even though the documentary was absolutely wonderful, I cannot even describe my feelings about the fact that Tom Hanks was chosen to play this iconic character from my childhood. The fact that Tom Hanks has now officially been Mr. Rogers and Walt Disney, I mean, that's a legacy to be had for any actor in Hollywood. He is going to die as probably the most popular and most likable actor in all of Hollywood because he has also been able to do some of these iconic roles in film, and I really think that this is going to be a great film. I hope it's going to be a nominee for Best Picture for the 2020 ceremonies. And the final film, you know, it's not really an anticipated film, but why am I seeing it? Because it's Star Wars Episode 9, guys. I mean, look, I'm a completionist. You know my thoughts on The Last Jedi. Never have I thought that I would not be excited to go see a Star Wars film. I don't know where this story is going to go, especially after the controversy of Episode 8. But Star Wars films are meant to be seen on the big screen. That is why I've actually seen The Last Jedi, and that is why I have seen Solo: A Star Wars Story. And while Solo: A Star Wars Story was a box office failure, I still had fun with the movie. But was it a good movie? It was fine. It was not good, it wasn't even great, but it was fine. And the same could be said about The Last Jedi. But, you know, I have had feelings come and go, and my attitude has changed so many times about The Last Jedi. All that I am hoping for with Star Wars Episode 9 is that it just puts my mind at ease. If it is a great movie, then I will be thrilled and be excited to see the next Star Wars project whenever it comes around. But if it turns out that it's a piece of crap, then I will basically say, I'm done with Star Wars. I will hold dear to all the previous Star Wars films. Yes, I even do have a copy of The Last Jedi because I will at least have the entire saga in my collection. And that will be it. I will not give any more money to Lucasfilm. I will not go see any other Star Wars movie because Star Wars is not meant to be okay. It's not even meant to be good. Star Wars is supposed to be the reason why we invented movie theaters. This is the reason why we go to the movies. These are the movies that were willing to shell out $20 or more to the box office for the sake of seeing an amazing space adventure. But if Episode 9 is not that amazing space adventure, then something has got to give, guys. I'm sorry. But sorry to also go on a down note because that's the end of my 20 most anticipated films of 2019. I would love for you to leave comments in the box below and let me know what you're looking forward to the most. And let me know if there's any films out there that I have missed. I know that there are, but we have to consider the fact that I can't go and see so many movies in theaters in the coming years. But I am excited for these 20, and I'm really hoping that each and every one of them is worthwhile. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm looking forward to a strong 9th season of Up From the Underground. The reviews are coming, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.